In some cases, we run out of different filters. Now, I've shown already how we go about filtering by sea level, but maybe we need some negative filters to really help us constrain some of our options because maybe we have lists that are 10,000, 20,000 plus people. It does happen. So I want us first to review the different job titles that are available. Again, we can manually plug these in and go by individual function or department and look through and figure out like, okay, what are the functions of people within this department and who are the particular people slash roles within there. You can remove the less senior people, or you could add negative search terms in order to avoid getting the wrong types of personas coming up. And this is helpful for each and every department. Next, we want to make a copy of prompt job title targeting. Now, it's super easy to make a copy. We want to make sure that we're relocating it to our targeting folder. I've already done that. You guys have seen me make many copies before. This is what we're looking at. The big part of prompt one, the first prompt in here, is that we have an area about the companies, so the industries, the future departments, and my future possible job titles that you have to plug in. And then, of course, we have information or raw data about us. Now, we have filled this in before with many different prompts, so it should be a matter of copying and pasting this. This will require all of 2 seconds just to adjust for so that we can plug everything in all at once. Great, now it's time to run this in a prompt. So we're just highlighting everything that's there, copy, jumping over to our favorite LLM. In this case, I'm using DeepSeek, but you can use many other LLMs. It's up to you, and running it. Good, now it's completed everything. I can either manually copy all of this individually and throw it over into a table, or I can use prompt 1.5 and basically consolidate. Copy the prompt. I'm going to use prompt 1.5 and consolidate and paste. Run it. So the output should look like this. If it doesn't, it means that you just have to reprompt a little bit more in order to get everything within separate columns. Right click, copy. Next, it's asking me to make a copy of people targeting template. It's basically allowing me to come back to this to use as a reference when I start plugging in different things for targeting. We've all made copies of stuff before by now, hopefully. So let's do that real fast. File, make a copy, rename, adding it to the right folder, paste. Now, everything's in here that I'm hoping to use in the future, and at the very least, I am able to start picking and choosing the different stuff that I want to continue to filter on when I am looking for types of people that I could potentially reach out to on LinkedIn. I do want to quickly say that the negative filters are shit when it comes to my output. So, of course, I'm not going to be targeting for dentistry within tech and marketing specifically to blockchain and AI sectors. It's given me a lot of kind of junk stuff. This is one methodology, just as there are hundreds of methodologies for finding either negative filters or positive filters. And depending on the outreach, some of these should be very usable. Let's finish this out with running prompt 2. Prompt 2 gives us a little bit more robust persona by persona, gives us a total of 3, and we don't have to re-plug in our personal data. So I'm just going to highlight everything up until raw data because we've already fed that. Right click, copy, hop over to your LLM, paste, and run it. Great. So it's given me the 3 large rows that I'm going to use as individual personas. It had a little bit of confusion. It asked me clarifying questions, so I could give it the answers and it would spit out completely different tables, which is neat. So I'm going to transfer these over to my massive table that I've already created. So highlight each individual row, right click, copy, back over to my people targeting templates, and inside of prompt 2, Control Shift V, and now I have that row in there, and I'm just going to copy the other 2. Now that everything's copied over, I just want to quickly go over the use cases for these filters. So these are the 3 types of personas that I would try to connect to, probably on either a senior or like same level, but you could probably make a case for finding people that are just outside of that. I have negative filters that would allow me to reduce or remove certain types of personas that don't fall into that vertical. I have jargon terms that I can search for and plug those in as very specific type of profiles. So if somebody has worked with smart contracts, DeFi, tokenomics, maybe I have something that I've done in my past to say, you do that, I love that, we've both done that, let's jam out and talk. There's negative jargon terms that maybe are great filters to spin out or remove certain types of things. If we want to target people who are working in specific types of projects that we've worked in, and that's what that's there for. And of course, negative project types, if people have done these types of things, and there's a high likelihood that they're probably not the type of personas that really get what we're trying to do. That is why we have built this. Back inside of the brief, this last part is just to kind of drive the point home. You can use all of the different filters that we've created to create either new personas or further filter different personas. So I basically have given you a few screenshots of Apollo's filtering search to allow you to go through and filter for individual personas by row or create completely new ones. It's up to you. I should mention that you can use all of these filters the same way that you search on Apollo within LinkedIn directly. I'm a big fan of show, don't tell, so just bear with me. I'm going to do a quick search with everybody. So I'm putting in the country that I want to work in, Denmark. And again, Denmark is a country of 5.8 million people, extremely small by most countries by comparison. Now, I want to filter by some of the industry jargon terms that I found interesting. So I'm going to put in DeFi. I thought that was neat. Now, within Denmark, that's going to be a huge limiting factor, 93 total profiles. Let's do staking. Now, I realize that these are very specific jargon terms to the industries that I love. So I'm not necessarily doing the same example that everybody would understand. Let's pull out a few more. I saw some good ones in here. DAO. Again, this is crypto stuff, but if you have industry keywords that you're used to seeing, then it would make sense that, yeah, they might be in here. Let's add DAO as a keyword. Great. So I'm getting to a much better number that I feel happy about, and I can either further filter by seniority or further filter by job titles. But I hope this starts to give you a few different avenues that you can explore and start to throw things in there. I will say one last little thing that saves a lot of time. If there is a company that you're like, I don't want to reach out to that company because maybe you've already applied, or I don't know, maybe you just don't like the company. That's totally okay. Then we can eliminate certain companies. So we have an include and exclude company list. Let's say for whatever reason, I'm not a fan of North Stake. I've talked with some of the people over there. They're a nice bunch of people. I can very quickly copy the URL, copy the link address. That's the link to the website. And I now can exclude that specific company. So in future results, I don't get anybody from that company. Ta-da, they're gone. Cool. You guys can play with this tool, and the more you play with it, the more you start to learn and understand and get a better feel for how to create these really nice clusters of targets to eventually run outreach. And we're doing that really soon.